Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your Smackdown review. This was another Smackdown in the Barclays Center. I don't know if there was beach balls or volleyballs or basketballs. I don't know, but it was an okay show. It's not crazy. People are going to say that because of Bobby Roode being there, it's automatically an amazing show. They could have done more post SummerSlam. I didn't feel like there was quite a bit of enough. You had more going on the Raw side. SmackDown just didn't feel as important as Raw. It was still a decent show, but let's start from the top. So we get the announcement that there's going to be another Owens and Styles match. How many fucking times are we supposed to see this match? This has been going on since after WrestleMania, and it's the summer. In fact, the summer's about to be over. 4 or 5 months of nothing but AJ Styles and Kevin Owens matches. And they could have done something interesting with this conspiracy theory storyline. They could have had like Owens go on a rampage, getting so pissed off that he kept getting screwed that he would, power bomb people through tables. Like kind of like what he did during the Dean Ambrose storyline from years ago, just power bomb people through the announce table, getting his point across. But they didn't do that. Instead it was just like Owens being sarcastic and cracking jokes and stuff. They could have really given Owens that mean streak, kind of like that kill character he had in Ring of Honor. If you guys want to, channel the indies in Ring of Honor, then why don't they at least give Owens the character from ROH? At least there would be something interesting about his character other than a guy who just keeps constantly getting rematch after rematch after rematch. It's getting a bit ridiculous already. It's getting a little bit redundant. They keep on fucking having the same goddamn matches over and over. And it's not even like there's different types of matches. They're not even having a ladder match. They're not having a cage match. They're not having a street fight. It's just they're all the same fucking standard matches. So now Owens gets to pick his partner. And I will say this about, tonight. They finally showed some sense of continuity. They showed Owens going from person to person, asking if they wanted to be the ref. Breezango, Sami Zayn. At least they showed a sense of continuity, because I never understand why they lost this art of doing things backstage with the wrestlers after they give the promo. Usually it's like they cut the promo and we don't see the guys until the main event. It was the same thing even with John Cena. John Cena and Roman Reigns, the biggest thing on the show. We don't see them again until the end of the show. We go 2 hours without seeing Cena and Reigns. And these are supposed to be the big stars. So at least we saw more of Owens backstage. Bobby Roode defeated Aiden English. I'm happy that Roode is there. Usually I hate it when the marks are happy. They're so fucking annoying half the time. They're creaming their pants over Bobby Roode. And he does deserve that kind of reaction, because Bobby Roode is special. He's a good talent. I like the gimmick that he has. The theme song is a little bit too cheesy for my taste. I mean, it's okay. It fits him. You could make the argument that themes like Ass Man were cheesy, but this is like super fucking cheesy. It's not even like the song is even catchy. It's just a little bit too fucking over the top for him. I mean, keep the theme on him. If he debuted without the theme, the marks would have lost their minds. So we don't want a smart mark rampage on our hands. So, but it was good to see Bobby Roode. I guess that little winning streak of Aiden English is over. But whatever. Who really cared about that anyway? So Bobby Roode is on the roster. My advice: push this man to the moon. Get fucking Nakamurphy out of that main event scene and put Bobby Roode in there. Bobby Roode and Jinder Mahal is a main event that I would like to see. That is a main event that I could, understand them having those guys as main eventers. Nakamurphy and Jinder, not so much, but Jinder and Bobby Roode, that has potential right there. Bobby Roode, you want that international flavor. Well, Bobby Roode's Canadian, so there you go. So I'm happy to finally see him. I said during my Raw review that Raw might be dead because that SmackDown might be dying because Cena is now on Raw. As long as they keep bringing in quality talent, we had another quality talent being brought in. I'll get to that in a second. And it actually happened right after that. Chad Gable is talking to Daniel Bryan. Like weeks later, they're finally addressing, what are they going to do with Chad Gable? Jason Jordan's on Raw. And who comes? Shelton Benjamin. This guy was supposed to be there last year, but unfortunately he got injured. Benjamin's there. He looks like twice the size of what he used to be, which was good to see. He was fully bald this time, not just with a crew cut. It's good to see him. And Daniel Bryan said that this will be his new tag partner. He'll feel right at home with Shelton Benjamin. And this is kind of funny considering the fact that Shelton Benjamin is like twice his size. He's even bigger than Jason Jordan. And, I used to even say the same thing about American Alpha. They were just a copy of the world's greatest tag team, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. So they put these two guys together kind of to get a semblance of that, I guess. I would have liked to see Shelton Benjamin finally, get to the main event. I know Mark say that, they'd like to see him in the main event, but this is a guy that's been there for a while. There's a difference. Benjamin isn't exactly one with a lot of charisma, and if they couldn't figure it out back in 2004 what to do with him, they definitely ain't going to figure it out now, but you might as well go, people cheered when he came on the screen. I would have liked to see a little bit more out of Benjamin than just the tag team scene. This is the same thing they're doing with the Hardys, treating them like just another tag team. Just another tag team wrestler, basically. Do you hear that reaction? That's not the kind of reaction you get from the tag team division. That's like a reaction for a main eventer. And it's long overdue. This is a guy that I'm not saying you have to throw the world title on him, but at least, do something with it. Make him feel special. We also waited, 7-8 months to see the guy after initially announcing him and he got injured. The Usos defeated the Hype Bros. Zack Ryder is like on the internet showing how he's overcome cancer, overcome this injury, comes back, and he goes right back to jobbing, gets kicked in the face, the match ends. I'm not saying that they should beat the tag champs. I love the Usos. I love their character. But what a fucking waste. What are you doing with the Hype Bros? Mojo Rawley wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Once again proving that accolade is just basically worthless. You win that match and it just does nothing for your career. It's just a match to have a match, I guess. So, and Zack Ryder returns and he goes right back to losing. What is their sick obsession with burying Ryder? And they love to tease that maybe something might be on the horizon for Zack Ryder. They're showing him, getting into rehab, and fighting to come back. You think maybe he might have his moment. They give him the moment, getting the Intercontinental title. Miz beats him the very next night. It's back down to, to the lower mid-card again, getting stuck in the tag team with Mojo. What are they doing with this guy? Like, seriously, did Zack Ryder ever do anything to piss off McMahon that bad that he hates him so much? I never understand this. Zack Ryder has a great build. He's got a look to him. He showed personality. He's got himself over. 5 years later, 6 years later, people are still doing the woo-woo You know, he had whole crowds cheering for him that they wanted him. You know, and all they did was just bury this guy every opportunity they got. Naka Murphy defeated the Singh brothers. Not only does he destroy the Singh brothers, but he leaves Jinder laying flat. What is it? You know, you would think after Naka Murphy getting beat at SummerSlam that that would be it. You know, like, of course they're not going to end it, but I'm saying, like, that match right there, they didn't even give it a lot of time at SummerSlam. Maybe they were running out of time. But, you know, it pretty much showed during that match who was the real star. Naka Murphy with his boring ass kicks and, you know, just rubbing his nose on people. It really showed us who the true stars are. Now, of course, the marks, this will fly right over their head. They'll attack me. Oh, Shinsuke Nakamura is the best. Stop saying his name wrong. Shitcake Naka Murphy is not the best. He rubs his nose on people's bellies. And what is this? Like, they can't even figure out the name. He's the king of strong style. Oh, we don't want to say strong style. He's the artist. Oh, we don't want to say artist. You know, I guess it reminds us too much of Prince. He's the rock star. Oh, he's a rock star. Okay. Well, what makes him a rock star? Exactly. You know, so once again, Jinder is bitched out, laying in the middle of the ring. Not nice. Becky Lynch and Naomi defeated Carmella and Natalya. Once again, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Doesn't matter what gender you are. If you hold on to a Money in the Bank briefcase, you are cursed to lose until you cash it in. I like the little thing that they had with Ellsworth. I'm starting to like Ellsworth more, where he started warning Natalya that, you know, Carmella might not tag in during the match. She might let her get beat up and then cash in the briefcase, and Carmella's trying to shut him up, like, what are you doing? That was a nice little touch. Ziggler was backstage cutting another great promo, another one of those work shoots, saying, you know, what do I got to do to get to the top? I keep trying to do everything I can. Maybe it's because I don't have a glow-in-the-dark entrance. Maybe it's because I don't have a pretty valet. You know, he kept on coming up with different reasons and gimmicks. And he actually showed that the WWE is trying to have certain gimmicks, I suppose. But, you know, if you listen to the perspective of Ziggler, it would sound like the WWE has a lot of colorful characters. But somehow that's not the case. But anyway, Ziggler didn't have his hair, like, all gelled back this time. He just had it, you know, normal, nothing in it. So I don't know if that's like a sign that they're trying to obviously do something different with him. It's attempt number 163, you know, to try to get Ziggler to the top or try to get. The thing is, the guy's already been noticed. He was popular. He had a world title. You made the guy get a concussion by being in dangerous situations, by telling him to bump all over the place. And the thing is, he got injured. You took the title off of him. Okay, so now we have Ziggler cutting another work shoot promo. He did this way back when. They made him the sole survivor at Survivor Series. You know, they keep going back and forth with him. What is it going to be with Ziggler this time? Enough is enough already. Do something with the guy. He's your talent. You know, if you have nothing for him, then release him. I don't understand what the fucking point is. You've had this guy, you know, Dolph Ziggler, since 2008. Not counting the Spirit Squad when he actually became Dolph Ziggler. You're coming upon, you're 9 years into Dolph Ziggler. And what have you to show for it? 2 world title runs. One where he lost it during his first title defense after a concussion, being punished for having a concussion. And the first time, it didn't even last an entire night. So they need to figure out what the fuck they're doing with him. Every single couple of months, every year, they make him cut one of these similar promos. He's great at promos. The guy's got a body on him. You know, he's got a look. He's got the in-ring ability. You know, he knows how to talk. It's like he's the complete package. But yet, they can't figure out there was nothing wrong with the guy even. We hadn't seen him in months. But the thing was, he wasn't injured. They just didn't know what to do with him. Lana is backstage with Tamina. You know, she said, you know, she wants her to close her eyes, you know, and think about every time anybody laughed at her, excluded her. And Tamina says, well, what about this week? And that was a good question. What about this week? No match for her? You said this stuff last week. Oh, you're going to bring her to the top. She's not even in the fucking tag match. Becky Lynch is there, who has, you know, hasn't even really been involved in anything lately. You know, so Tamina starts closing her eyes and she's all pissed off. But then she ruins it by smiling. You know, I guess you could say it was a sadistic smile, but whatever. I still like the idea of Lana being her manager, but you know, like exactly what Tamina said. What about tonight? What, they have nothing planned for her tonight, so we're just going to talk about, you know, what she's going to do next week. What, you know, live in the moment. What about this week? Then in the main event, you had AJ and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens selected Baron Corbin to be the special guest referee. So Corbin gets pissed off. You know, he gets accidentally, you know, ref bumped. And Shane comes out arguing with Corbin because he's not officiating the match the right way. So, you know, Corbin takes the shirt and gives it to Shane. I would have liked to see, you know, Corbin take the shirt and throw it at Shane. That's what I thought he was going to do, but he hands it to him. You know, I don't know if he was told to do that, but it looked like he was going to throw it, but then decided not to. Anyway, so Shane counts to 3. You know, AJ hits the phenomenal forearm, and it's over. Thank fucking God. Please let that be the last match. Maybe we'll go on to Corbin and AJ or something like that. I don't fucking know. You figure it out. I'm just so fucking happy that this feud is finally fucking over. Was it an okay match? I guess it was interesting having Corbin there. You know, yada, yada, yada. But thank fucking God that it's over already. That we don't have to sit through another AJ Owens match. Another 20-minute match of these guys doing the same fucking shtick. How did they get this far and not do any type of... All we did was special guest referee matches. You know, 2 special guest referee matches. Not just 1, but 2. Back-to-back special guest referee matches. They didn't even try to do anything else with this storyline or the matches. You know, they must have had like 10 or 11, 12 of these matches when you count all the ones on SmackDown and above. I've never seen a guy get this many fucking rematches. Then you had them trade the title. I mean, I even lost track of it. How many times did AJ lose the title and how many times did Owens win it? I almost don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm just so happy to see it over. So, you know, you had a couple of good things. Bobby Roode debuting, Benjamin re-debuting. You know, I guess you could say Owens backstage with the continuity, continuing the story. But that's about it. I mean, is that really that great of a show? You know, you had like the funny thing with Ellsworth with the little comment that he made about the strategy. But aside from that, I mean, like, once again, you're totally wasting Jinder Mahal, a flat on his back with Naka Murphy. Get this over with. Have the next pay-per-view match that they're inevitably going to have. What is it, at No Mercy? Have that match and then move the fuck on to Bobby Roode and Jinder Mahal. Don't waste time with Bobby Roode and feud. Just put him. People know who he is. The only people left are the smart marks. So put him there. If you have enough faith in him that you brought him up from NXT, he's already ready. So just fucking, shotgun him right into the world title picture. You might as well. You've got nobody else built up to do it. Well, there you go, motherfuckers. There's your SmackDown review. Until next time, this has been your YWC champ, signing out.